What up, Bulls? Blade Master here, back with some more Total War Rome 2 online action. I'm fighting up against Llewellyn of Agartha here. You might recognize him as the player who was in the, well, he was technically 4th place in the Dignitas tournament. Had those very memorable matches against the Prussian Prince, one of the best matches that I've seen. And this was actually played the day before the Dignitas tournament. And he was trying to practice with some of his builds against, and he asked me if I wanted to play, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I've taken Boii in this matchup. He has taken Galatia. You might recognize that he took Galatia in a couple of his matches in the Dignitas tournament, and this was the exact build that he used. I think it was against the Prussian Prince. So let's start off with what Llewellyn's brought. He's brought 3 Galatian Raiders. He's brought a couple of Cappadocian Cav and 1 Noble Cav General. He's brought a front line of 6 Galatian Legionaries and a total of 6 Galatian Swords. Now with Boii, I brought a total of 2 Celtic Slingers, a total of 4 Heavy Horse, a ton of Levy Freemen. I've brought a total of 4 Levy Freemen, it looks like, and a couple of Axe Warriors who are going to form my second line. My main line is going to be comprised of 2 Oathsworn up in the center, and it looks like 4 Sword Followers and a couple more Axe Warriors. So I think I brought a total of 3 Axe Warriors, 1 Celtic Warrior, a shit ton of Levy Freemen, and the rest is just going to be a mix of Sword Followers and Oathsworn. My 2 Celtic Slingers could provide could prove to be a pretty crucial force in my army, because they could be very decisive in destroying these Galatian Raiders if they're left unchecked. But against an opponent who has such good micro as Llewellyn of Agartha, I wouldn't really count on it. My 4 Heavy Horse are kind of a strange pick, especially by Infantry Spammer Blade Master. But the reason I brought them was more, I just didn't really want to spam infantry builds anymore. Of course, a more competitive build would be just 2 Heavy Horse. I don't really care what anyone else says. In my personal opinion, the most competitive builds, especially when facing such a sword spam from Llewellyn himself, would be to bring a lot of sword spam with Boii, who arguably have the more cost-effective unit in terms of Axe Warriors and Sword Followers. So I'm turning around with my Celtic Slingers here. Take a look at this. He's just deployed his Galatian Raiders right outside my arc, but now he's moving up in front with them, so that might give me a chance to shoot some rocks. I'm covering my rear with my Heavy Horse. He got a great shot off there, killing off 6 of them, but I'm just trying to ward them off so that they don't start attacking my general or something. But in retrospect, that's not a good move, because what would he have attacked? My second line, and that's not really a big bother to me. He's going to charge into my Axe Warriors here with his mercenary Cappadocians. Exactly what I wanted. I'm going to charge in with my Heavy Horse instead, and I'm going to pull in one of my Levy Freemen to kill them. He's going to charge back in with his Galatian Swords. So this was actually a good move. On paper, it's a very good move, and it's a move which Llewellyn loves to make. But the reason I didn't do anything and I let these units brace was so that he would be very enticed to charging into these Axe Warriors, and then I would immediately pull in with my Heavy Horse. You can see he's taken a ton of casualties from that. He's lost 12 of his very expensive mercenary Cappadocians, but now that means his Galatian Swords would actually do very well on the charge. You can see they've gotten 18 kills. And now I'm going to charge in with my Sword Followers against his Galatian Legionaries. I'm also pulling up in the center with my Heavy Horse. I'm going to do the replica of what he has done. I'm going to charge in with my Heavy Horse, kind of suicide them against these 2 Legionary units. And my timing is not as good as his here. I'm going to charge in, I'm going to pull back, but then there's still some time for my Sword Followers to come in. But here he's going to charge in with his Noble Horse General. But this is just not a good move, I think, from Llewellyn. Very risky, and I don't think it's paid off, because now my Celtic Slingers have perfect targets to kill off. My Heavy Horse can die from friendly fire. That's no problem with me, because gen sniping in a barbarian on barbarian engagement will definitely decide the outcome of that battle. I'm going to charge in with my Oathsworn here. After the Galatian Legionaries, this charge was robbed. My Oathsworn will obviously do a great job, and I've put the Strategist General here. I think a Strategist General is a definite... Strategist Oathsworn General is a very good choice, and almost a no-brainer if you're going with Barbarians. He's moving up with his Galatian Raiders, but my Levy Freemen are too close, and I'm going to charge in with my Heavy Horse and tie them down. As for the rest of the battle, my Axe Warriors have died. That is actually a very good move with his Cappadocians. Despite taking a lot of losses in that battle, or in that little engagement, they made his Galatian Swords become cost effective. These Axe Warriors will last for a long time here. My Sword Followers and my 2 Sword Followers are killing off one of his Galatian Swords, and he's going to get a pretty clean charge onto my Axe Warriors, who are in very thin lines. But I'm going to follow up with one of my Celtic Warriors here. His Galatian Raiders have died. He's only got 1 more left, I think. and he still has 2 Cappadocian Cav, but both of them are kind of depleted, one of whom is going to charge into my the rear of my Oathsworn, but I've also got this Oathsworn General right here, so they are obviously going to do very well. Even if they pull out, I think they'll probably take a couple of casualties. No, it actually doesn't look like they have. They've taken 1 casualty. His other Cappadocian, though, that was another good charge, I'd say. But they've only got 11 kills so far. This one has only got 19. Despite those kind of charges straight into the army are very decisive sometimes, but they are very, very risky. They're very risky moves. He's going to charge in again with his Cappadocians, but now I'm going to come in with my heavy horse here. He pulled away with his noble horse general, and my heavy horse had an attack order on them. So his noble horse general, I think his general is almost dead. They only have 9 units at this point. I came here with my Levy Freeman and just tied down some of his Galatian swords so that they couldn't collapse onto the rear of my sword follower here, who are not doing a great job against his Galatian legionaries, and he's put his Galatian legionaries onto shield wall. I'm putting my sword followers into shield wall over here, and I've rear charged one of his Galatian swords, just killing them off. And this huge blob here is obviously going to fall into my Oathsworn's favor, even though they've gotten rear charge. Just the excellent morale that they have, and the fact that I have a strategist general, which means that I have recharged his batteries and now he's fresh again, means that they're just going to beast this entire engagement. I've also brought a sword follower here, and they're obviously going to help out very well. His mercenary Cappadocian just don't have the space to move out. I've also brought one of my heavy horse here, and they're going to kill off and the other mercenary Cappadocian. My Celtic slingers have actually done a great job here because they killed off his gen. They at the very least, they definitely destroyed a lot of his gen unit. Now moving up here with my Levy Freeman, and this might be a questionable choice to some, but I see his noble horse over here, and if his noble horse decide to run the center here, I have a Levy Freeman. If his Galatian legionaries decide to kill off my Oathsworn, then my Levy Freeman will be there to stop the flanks. But the main reason why I brought them was because his Galatian legionaries had their asses turned to my Levy Freeman, so that one javelin volley was excellent. And now his noble sword, his noble horse general has attacked my Oathsworn. Decisive move in my favor because my Levy Freeman were right next door, and they're going to come knocking and they're going to destroy that noble horse. 6 units left. Wavering, 4, 4, 3. There we go. That's done. It's GG at this point because once the general is dead, and my general is, I don't think my general is dead at this point. Let's take a look. Losing current combat, nope. Whereas general recently died, penalty for the Galatian legionaries. I don't think they have discipline. They do not have discipline trait, and that's just a huge morale penalty for them. My Levy Freemen are going to attack these Galatian legionaries. They've actually played a very crucial role because they plugged the gap. They got some decisive javelin volleys onto the rear of those Galatian legionaries and then killed off his noble horse general. These Levy Freemen again did a great job just holding up some of his Galatian swords, preventing them from collapsing onto the center. And meanwhile, my sword followers just cleaned up shop. 89, 84, whatever. My Oathsworn just destroyed his Galatian legionaries. And oh, there we go, Llewellyn is online. And my Celtic warriors actually did pretty well too. 74 kills with them, single experience chevron. His Galatian legionaries have been attacked in the flank by them. And all in all, he conceded defeat at this point. Costly victory and a well-fought victory. And very well played too, Llewellyn. I think my Celtic slingers did a good job here, and the fact that I brought 4 Levy Freemen was a pretty crucial move, and bringing 4 heavy horse was a risk that paid off. My increased numbers in Cav actually managed to catch some of his Galatian raiders, and that stopped them from wrecking my Celtic slingers and then potentially rear charging my line. Bringing some heavy horse also helped kill off his noble horse and his 2 mercenary Cappadocian Cav. His Galatian swords did really well. One of his Galatian swords got 242 kills, which is insane, but I think they just killed off 2 of my Levy Freeman units. My sword followers did a great job. Considering they went up against legionaries that cost more than them, they did very well. Oathsworn just did just about as you would expect. Got rear charged multiple times. But again, those rear charges were not very good, clean rear charges, and they were from mercenary Cappadocians, not shock cav. But still, despite all that, they managed to do really well. Double experience chevron on some incredibly cost-effective melee infantry. Axe warriors did quite well. The one that got charged in initially, maybe that probably is this one. They did okay. They just held the line for a while, and that's the best that you can expect from a cheap unit. Celtic warriors also did very well. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned for more. Peace.